Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with the J&M Adjustable Panhard Bar for all 2005 to 2014 Mustangs. A lot of times Panhard bars are one of the first places that people go to in order to tighten up the rear end of the 05 to 14 S197s, and rightfully so. A Panhard bar can offer a lot of improvements, but there are some options when it comes to Panhard bars, and you're going to want to choose which type to go with based off of your car and what you plan on doing with it. This adjustable Panhard bar from J&M is a great option for the owners out there that are looking for the benefits of a Panhard bar, but that have a lowered or plan on lowering their car. The purpose of a Panhard bar is to keep the rear axle from moving side to side. The side-to-side movement in the rear axle is created by chassis flex and twist, and it will have an impact on the consistency of the handling. If the rear axle is allowed to move this way, you will experience rear steer and your ability to corner will be greatly reduced. A Panhard bar is also going to center your rear, which will not only be an issue if the rear is moving during cornering from chassis flex, but once you start doing other suspension upgrades and lowering your car, the Panhard bar will help keep the geometry correct. The J&M Panhard bar is an on-car adjustable bar, which makes it perfect for lowered cars. If you're deciding between an adjustable or non-adjustable bar, the first thing to keep in mind is that the adjustable bars work best for lowered cars, and this reinforces what I said earlier about geometry. When you lower the car, you change the geometry, so adjustable suspension components tend to work best in that situation. That's not to say that you shouldn't run an adjustable Panhard bar if your car isn't lowered, but you really should consider an adjustable bar if you are lowered. This is made from tubular steel and it's made from a high-strength steel. Even the adjuster is forged from chromoly steel and has formed rolled threads as opposed to cut threads. The Panhard bar is then clear zinc plated and heat treated as well, and it's finished with a black powder coat finish. And while you won't necessarily see the color of the Panhard bar underneath the car, the powder will give it some corrosion resistance, and that's only going to benefit an undercar suspension component. J&M includes greasable polyurethane bushings, which are going to reduce deflection and add some stiffness to the Panhard bar. The type of bushing is important to consider because it's going to play a role in ride quality and NVH. At the end of the day, you do want more rigidity in this area, so you stop movement, but a lot of people work on straddling the line between stopping enough movement to create better handling, but not stopping so much movement that it makes for a miserable ride quality. Like I mentioned a little earlier, the Panhard bar is a weak point in the factory chassis because it allows for a lot of movement in the rear. The J&M aftermarket replacement works to stiffen up the rear end by allowing for less deflection. Adding a Panhard bar like this will give support and extra chassis rigidity as well, which will improve traction and handling. One thing to keep in mind though is that while a Panhard bar can and will make a difference by itself, it definitely pairs great with other suspension mods. It will help with traction and handling by itself, but keep in mind that there isn't just one part that will fix all traction and handling issues. But a good combination of upgrades can totally change the Mustang's performance. As far as price, at the end of the day, a Panhard bar isn't necessarily all that expensive. This Panhard bar costs a little over $100, which is less expensive than a lot of other options that are available that offer different features. Like I said earlier, you can always go with a non-adjustable, which will cost less, but I wouldn't recommend that route if you plan on lowering your car. The install for this Panhard bar does require a little bit of knowledge, so I'm going to call it a 3 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it will take about 2 hours to complete. If you tackle this install yourself, you'll need a few different sockets and wrenches and a way to get the car in the air so you can work under the rear. There are covers covering the factory Panhard bar, but they're easy to remove. The factory bar is held in by 2 bolts, but you'll need to loosen the Panhard bar support brace in order to get the bar out. There will be a little assembling of the new Panhard bar before you can install it, like the bushings, the ends, and since it is an adjustable part, you will want to make sure that it's the same length as the factory bar before you install it. The actual install of the new bar will be the same as the removal of the factory bar. Once the bar is installed, it will need to be adjusted. The Panhard bar is adjusted by twisting the bar by hand to adjust the body of the car over the axle. You can accomplish this by measuring each side after you adjust the bar, and there are a few different ways that you can do that. Once everything is adjusted, all you'll have to do is lock everything into place. Wrapping things up here, the J&M Panhard bar has a steel construction, it's on-car adjustable, and it offers support and rigidity where the factory components are known to be weak. It's a great option for lowered cars and will work to improve traction and handling, especially in the corners, therefore tightening up the rear end. You can check it out more online, along with all of your other rear suspension upgrade options, right here at AmericanMuscle.com.